Hello and welcome to the next video of my Worlds 2024 series. We're covering Swiss Stage Day 4. Games that took place today are here, best of ones, and then previews for the best of threes are here, and there's not much to go over for those in terms of historical relevance, but predictions went 2-2 on the day. I had BLG over T1, and I also had PSG over FlyQuest, and FlyQuest did win. So, first game, Top Esports Fnatic. Top Esports were in control for 88% of the game. What does that mean? That means gold the lead, or, gold plus objective. So Fnatic are in a gold lead, but Top Esports may have a Drake. That Drake valuation in terms of gold may offset that gold lead and actually keep Top Esports ahead due to simply having more stats, which are more guaranteed than gold necessary, if you actually think about it, because you may look at a gold lead, but how much of the gold is spent, right? If a player is sitting on 2,000 gold and the team's ahead 2,500 gold, then theoretically they only have a 500 gold lead in terms of stats, right? And that is kind of the mislead. That's how a gold lead can mislead you. I wish we had I know in some of these regions we've seen stats where they have utilized how much gold is being spent by these players as a better indicator, and I think that that's what should be at the top of the scoreboard. How much gold has each team spent, not how much gold they have earned. So Cream 514, 37% of damage on Yone. TN 209 on Sejuani, Humanoid 132, 37% of damage in the loss on Smolder. Tried to scale against Top Esports, was a mistake. There were some early game plays by Fnatic, but Top Raver were able to overcome them. They went after 369 heavily, and 369 on the Rumble kind of became an afterthought, and that allowed Cream to take over. I think he had a solo kill in this one. We're kind of speed running today's video because I do have to get to my full-time job in 45 minutes or so. I gotta leave. BLG T1 would win, in control for 94% of the game. Zeus 429, 27% of damage on a Gnar, racking up damage against his lane opponent, and also had some very strong ultis and key team fights to secure this one. It was closer than what 94% would indicate in terms of, the gold difference. But like I said, in terms of control, who is ahead, even by 1% versus however much, T1 were ahead. Carrier 2-1-14 on Nico. Nice ultis. Faker on the Silas taking Knight's Ari ultis. Knight going 8-2-3, 30% of damage. T1 gave BLG an advantageous draft, giving Ben his Jax, one of his most played, one of his best champions. I think I would say his second best behind his Kennen. And then handing over the Ari, which is a Knight special, 86% win rate on his most played champion over 58 games, 6-1 internationally. That's handing them a silver platter, and BLG kind of slapped it out of their hands and lost the game anyways. T1 playing those team fights out really well. Guma doing a fantastic job on the Callista. Also, Owner finding ultis on the Vi. BLG just not enough. Not enough. You put Elk on Jhin. Elk's one of your better players. But then again, somebody has to fall on the sword, right? We have Bin on a Jax. We have Knight on an Ari. Okay, well, weak side is going to be the bot lane duo of Elk and An. And An struggled in this one. He's definitely the worst player on the team. But we're talking about that now only after they lost to T1, not a month ago when we were saying this team is world class, it's going to win Worlds. And it still very well could. But it's just ironic that we wait until now to say that they're not, nearly as strong as what people are saying, and because An is so bad, it's like, hey, this team definitely could still win Worlds. It's 1-2, but shit, certainly would still win Worlds. FlyQuest PSG were in control of this one for quite a while, 61% of the game. However, Fly won. PSG forced the issue, mid-game team fight around Baron. They tried to force a Baron. They got, and the thing was, it was a good decision in theory. Like I just said about the items and gold. We saw that PSG had some items and maybe an advantage over FlyQuest, but the problem was they didn't stay on the Baron. and they couldn't execute a team fight on their terms against FlyQuest thereafter, and FlyQuest kind of waited them out for just like 10 seconds or so, and then Weibo initiated a team fight, which allowed FlyQuest to take over. Masu very strong in this one on the Kaisa, 10, 1, and 3, 49% of the team's damage, definitely the most lopsided damage percentage we've seen at this event, the most carry performance at the event in terms of damage. Inspired 1-1-14 on an Ivern. And then Maple 5-2-4, 35% of damage on Ari. Ari really showing through as a strong pick even in losses here. It's going to be the top pick throughout this tournament, would be my guess. We are not seeing nearly as much Syndra as people thought we would. The presence is very low. I might talk about that on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how I want to fill out my content on the days that we don't have games. But the fact of the matter is, Ari is a nasty pick, even in losses. But that mid-game team fight was the way that PSG threw this one away. They needed to execute on that team fight. I thought it was well-timed, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. FlyQuest outplayed them, and then after that, FlyQuest played it out. And scaling, etc., were able to get it done. Weibo G2. G2 are in control of this game from start to finish. If you take the gold value of Weibo's 2 Drakes that they took in the laning to mid-game phase, that still, in valuation, did not offset G2's gold lead. G2 are actually ahead. And the Galio in top lane looked very, very good compared to Mirwin's Mad Lion's Koi. Galio, of course, a better pick for mid. Maybe we see more Galio at this tournament being flexed around between mid and top lane, maybe in the I would say mid-early game, but maybe with lane swaps, etc., we may see top lane Galio go to mid. Maybe we see top laners, role swap with their mid laner if the mid laner picked a Yone or something of that sort and can go to top lane and pilot the Yone just, sufficiently enough. Hansama on the Kalista, 7-2-6, 28% of damage. Broken Blade, 3-1-9 on the Galio. Xiaohu, 4-4-3, 31% of damage in the loss on Tristana. Now, despite G2 being ahead for this entire game, there were moments, especially towards, as we went to mid to late game, where Weibo were able to find a way to crawl back into it. G2 still with the lead, but Weibo getting within striking distance, and however, the late game team fights did not go their way because of BB's Galio being so strong. It was just the typical Wombo combo comps that we are seeing at this event, and that's going to happen. The Wombo combo comps are, we got Nocturne Galio. All we were missing was a Camille for BB and Caps to play the Galio, and then we would have had a true classic Wombo combo. Previews for tomorrow. Mad Lions Koi, Gam Esports have never crossed paths before as organizations, and the players have not played against each other. Elioya has never played Levi before, to my knowledge. So this matchup is definitely interesting. Kiaya into Mirwin. We're looking at 2 very carry-oriented top laners, the 2 teams at this event that have had most of their damage come from their top laner throughout the summer, right? Mad Lions going into this event. Mirwin was their highest damage source, and then Gam Esports, a similar situation, and then during play-ins, Gam Esports, Kiaya led the way for them. So that top lane matchup's definitely the one to watch, and then you have the junglers between Levi and Elioya. If it is Levi's last series, I do believe that he deserves a lot of respect. There are a lot of people that do not give him the respect that he has earned, and I think that that's a real tragedy, given how much Levi has given to the LOL esports scene and expanded the game, especially in Vietnam. Pain Gaming and Team Liquid. Neither of these teams have played against each other. The players have not crossed paths. APA and Yeon have not played against Cheetan and Jinkido. And then in the jungle, this is Umpty's first world, so he has not played Kuroka. So, this series, Wiser and Impact, I guess, will be interesting. It's so it's going to be Cheetan against the world, I think, in this one, which isn't going to be a big shock. If Pain Gaming do not give Wiser an opportunity to really carry in top lane, I don't know. The thing is, Impact's one of the better weak side top laners, I think, in the world. He can play because he's so experienced, he knows how to lose lane. Be like, okay, I'm going to soak this pressure, lose lane, and then have relevance in the mid to late game like not many others can. And then if you look at it that way, well, then Team Liquid will find advantages elsewhere. So it's going to be a tight one. I think that mid lane matchup, Jinkito better have gotten some, you know, champion. I mean, he's better played some serious Syndra this past couple days, or in Ari and etc., and to improve his champion pool into APA. That needs to happen. Cheaton and Curry into Yeon and Core JJ will be definitely an interesting matchup. Remember, Team Liquid was a very aggressive team in summer, one of the more aggressive teams we saw in LOL Esports out of the damage department. So this may be a slugfest, in which case Pain Gaming needs to play that way, in my opinion. Chaos is where they will thrive, if they're to thrive at all. So that's it. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.